Today's episode is brought to you by PTZ Optics. Disability upgrade. New Wave Toys and their Replicade amusements products. And
Boom shakalaka! Hey everybody, it's Tim Kitzer here, the voice of some of your favorite video games like NBA Jam and NFL Blitz. And I'm here to talk to you about Old School Gamer Magazine. It's the magazine for retro gaming, and it's exploding. Kaboom! Print issues come out every other month, and if you want to go green, digital options are available. Visit oldschoolgamer.com and subscribe now. That's oldschoolgamer.com. Boom shakalaka! Kaboom!
That's all there is.
Well, we're back here on Friday. Let's make sure everything's working here.
We got a guest. Okay, you got
Good day.
It's gotta, you know.
So our first question is always, can everyone hear us? That is just the first question we always say.
Oh, the bot gave me a warning. In the chat is like, stop using spamming symbols and stuff.
Oh, we got,
So,
yeah.
I'll
they
get
can hear
kicked
us.
out of the chat of our own thing here. Nice. Do we have sound? This sounds good. All right, so let's see if they can hear Shiloh.
Can you guys hear me? Good day, everybody.
And no echo. Oh my God.
Is it working? Yay!
It looks that way.
Right on.
Awesome. Listen, after 104 episodes, we finally got the audio licked. That's not too bad.
You
That's
jinxed
always-
it now. You just went ahead and jinxed it for next week. What's coming up
So-
with that? So
So first of all, again, the first
Figured it
thing,
out.
we did. It only took 104 episodes. First, we want to thank everyone for joining us here Friday night. Now, it is Friday. We work hard all week. We look forward to the weekend. And it's once again, we're here. We're here with Shiloh from New Wave Toys. Shiloh, once
Hello,
again,
everybody.
welcome for joining the
Good
show.
day.
What
Thank
have you
you.
been up to, Shiloh?
Glad
What's
they're saying your
what's
mic
new
is
in your
hot
school?
A little bit. It's
Is it? I can
you're
lower it.
distorted it a little tiny bit. Just,
Well, I've
just
always been
giving you the
distorted.
feedback. You can leave it the way it is. You can
No,
be
I'll take
louder
it down a
than all of us.
notch. Take it
You
down
can
a
be
notch.
louder. So
Hopefully that's
tonight,
better.
my job is usually to go through the chat and welcome everybody, but I'm just going to say it. Welcome everybody, all 180 of you. And if I were to go through every name, all 108 of you would be here till 11 o'clock at night.
Yeah. This won't
So
make it difficult.
we'll skip that formality for tonight.
And
Just-
Kevin
just-
did a super chat for Shiloh. Game 7 is Sunday. You got Wolves or Nuggets?
I don't follow basketball since Shaq and Kobe broke up. I'm a hockey fan. We were just talking about hockey. I'm pulling from my Edmonton Oilers.
Are they still in the running right now, the Oilers?
Oh, we're down 6 games to 5. Oh no, what am I saying? We got
I was gonna say
game
they'd be out
6
by
coming
now.
up. Yeah, and if the Canucks win, they knock us out. So
Oh, okay.
we got a chance
Hopefully,
to tie it up and go to game 7 on Saturday.
So, anyways, welcome everyone, and we've got our guest here. So that's
We
good.
do.
That's good.
So there's so many things to talk about. Where do we start?
let's-
Shiloh, where do you want to start?
You know what? Let's start by thanking everybody who's here and came and joined the show tonight and joined the fan page. And, we started with nobody and there's 5,000 people in there now. And that's really impressive. And Glenn, that's thank you for starting that page. And
I tell you, we actually blew past
that's why we're
5,000. The last 10, 12 hours, we went from 4,200 to over 5,200. So I guess a
Is that
lot of people
right?
to win this contest. Yeah. In about
damn.
24 hours. People want that Berserk Frenzy. They really do.
Yeah, they should. That we sold out of Frenzy. Thank you everybody who supported Frenzy and Berserk. And we don't have too many Berserks left, honestly. I can't remember exactly how many, but it's going to be gone pretty soon too.
He showed
Sorry,
up-
I'm
he
just
showed up
going
for
off
Missile
the
Command.
beautiful missile command. I'm trying to get the camera. It's all upside down, right? So
That's the field test unit from New Wave Toys.
Yes.
it is beautiful. Let's just say that.
That
I won't
field
start
test
reciting the
unit-
My Precious thing, but it's very nice.
They should have went with that cab, in my opinion. I really love it. That's why we made it. It's obscure and everything, but that's the whole fun of it.
That thing in real life would be a beast.
Yeah.
If it fell on a kid, it would probably end its poor life.
Kill them for sure.
Well, that's not,
Yeah.
I mean, that's
yeah.
not the first one. I mean, even with the Qbert, you also did the same thing. There was the released one, but then there was the one that was really just a test unit. And you did both of those as well. So that's kind of something you're doing, right, Shelley? You're trying to not only do the original machine, but there's some history behind another version of it. Kind of
That's
doing that as
exactly-
well.
We're trying to tell the story of the whole development process and what came out, what was prototyped. I find that stuff really interesting, and I think everybody else does too. So, yeah, with Qbert, that was actually designed, exact replica of Warren Davis, who, of course, is the creator of Qbert. The Qbert prototype that he has sitting in his house today. So that was a lot of fun. I mean, stains included, everything. So absolutely. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to tell a story. And, I want to say one thing. When we first started out, we always said we were going to do games on arcade machines from every decade. And, we focused a lot on the 80s. But this new project with Golden Tee that we're here to talk about today, as well as give away a lot of prizes, really defines that, puts us into the 90s and into the 2000s, which is pretty crazy. And we're pretty proud. We as Glenn knows, we've been working on this project a long time, a couple of years actually, to get all the games running, and we had to design a whole new board. And all that stuff. So we think it was a challenge, and we're pretty stoked that we have a handheld that's running 6 Golden Tee games now. So thanks everybody who's supported us so far with the pre-order too.
Now, the other thing, Shiloh, I got a lot of comments from people saying, about the control panel and kind of want to know the history about that. But you and I both know this wasn't the first forte for this panel. You had an idea well before this with another property that we couldn't get. Do you want to talk about that at all? About the first machine that would have gotten a control panel if we could have done it?
Well, I talk about the concept. I mean, I'm not giving up on that thing we started with quite yet. So I don't really want to
let people know. It's just been years. This was years getting this going, but Shadow and I have been working on this for a lot longer than that. But go ahead, Shadow, please tell the story.
Well, the whole concept is to bring the playing experience to a full size experience on a large screen TV. So of course, with 6 scale, our limitations are, and we were talking about this before we got started today, are with the controls and also with the screen. We do our best to make sure they play properly and they look great. But really going to full size, making that shift, we wanted to expand on that with full size controllers. And that's the concept, is this real arcade sticks. And we were trying to get a license prior to this, and that didn't work out at the time. It's still something we're working on. But the idea is to do these, if we do well, which we are going to do, is to do more for specialty controller type arcade machines, right? So
I'm all for it.
Yeah. Right. So if it's a yoke, or, let's think hypothetically, it's Paperboy or something like that. I mean, that would be pretty cool to have a full size controller, we think.
Know what people have been asking for to me, Shiloh? They would love to see the Ikari Warriors.
Yeah. That's something we should talk about, Glenn.
Nothing biased there at all.
Well, no. These are questions I was getting hit up. People obviously do want to see like a mini Star Wars. They want to see a mini Tron. They want to see mini Ikari Warriors. They want to see Marble Madness. There's a lot of the games that people are saying, I'd like to see that, but I personally love the 1/6 scale. I'm not going to lie about that, but sometimes it's hard to play on them. So if we have HDMI out and a full-size control panel, you could have a really nice Replicade, hence the name, Replicade, that people can put on the shelf. You can put on your desk at work. People can buy great conversation piece, and you can play it. But if you really want to play it for scores, plug it into your TV set, sit down with your big control panel, and your wife doesn't kill you because you're not taking up as much space as Steven and I take up here with all this stuff. It takes up less space, but you do have a beautiful replica. And a lot of times, New Wave Toys' Replicades go above and beyond. Like, I'll never forget the Street Fighter. On the back, there are some LEDs. There's a glass panel, plexiglass panel, and you have the controller hidden in there. So little things like that, or the DVD player in Dragon's Lair, stuff like that.
Right. Yep. Yeah, those are all like real great details for the Replicades in 1/6. And this is just, bringing a full size element to that. And, so far so good. People are liking it, and just the nature of the way you play Golden Tee. I mean, just, if anybody's played it or watched anybody play it, people really get into it with your hand gesturing. And
they beat the crap out of that trackball. They just beat the crap out of it. It's like, it owes them money or something. It's like.
Now I got to be honest here. I'm just, for people doing super chats, there's so many things going on here. I'm just gonna, the super chats will come on the screen for us to read, and if Shiloh wants to address them, he could do that. But we're not gonna be able to read them all out as they come by. I guess I'm doing the P-dubs way of doing super chats. But I want to say real quick, like when we did the reveal, Shiloh, right? Some people were disappointed. Some people were expecting, a 1/6 scale, or like a 1/4 scale or full size machine. But people don't realize these 1/6 scales that we see is actually looks that way next to you because you're so damn tall. These little 1/6 scale, it's really bigger. But joking aside, some people were disappointed about it being Golden Tee. Some people felt that the Golden Tee was really not what they wanted to see as the next release. Now, with that being said, Golden Tee is probably the longest running, really most popular machine. Was it in a lot of arcades? No, it was probably in bars. It was probably in pubs. The places like that, but it's an extremely popular game. Golf is an extremely popular game. So
Video game. Yeah.
Right. So what was really your driving force? I mean, are you a golfer? Did you like Golden Tee? Because people were expecting
Well,
they wanted to. Go ahead.
Well, a couple things. I mean, it's we don't want to be married, like I said, starting the show. You know, we're not just married to 80s titles or 70s titles, or, you know, I mean, we want to expand beyond that. And of course, we want to continue to grow. And golf in general as a sport is super popular. And you know, this is a relevant, you know, arcade game to this day. And at the time they came out, right, 1989, they were conversion kits. And then in 95, it came to the full-size cab that we're replicating, which I have right here, which is actually a beast of a cabinet and really cool and unique for us, because it has a lot of news, you know, that dollar acceptor for the first time. You know, we're spanning over 6 years here with this cab, right? So some of the artwork you see on here isn't actually, this is just a prototype, right? But isn't era correct. So what you see on the website is era correct, and that's what we'll be going with. Of course, it's a prototype. You know, you don't have the instructions on the bezel like you're supposed to and stuff like that. It's the wrong artwork for the second marquee. But like, this is just a really cool cab. If you like, look at the back with the handle and the way it's shaped and stuff, it's massive.
Next to
I
Dragon's
wanted
Lair.
to say something about Golden Tee. Is that I think Golden Tee is a very accessible game by anybody that's either drunk or sober or whatever. And the controls are very simple. It's a trackball and one button, I think, or two or whatever. And anybody can get into it. It's not like a big strategy thing. It's not you get to master it, but it's not like, you know, Berserk and Frenzy, and it's not your typical game. It's way more accessible. Golf is familiar. Right. It's robots. It appeals to way more people. And I think to attract people to your brand, I think it's a smart move to have a golf game to attract the people to look at the other products, right? So it's sort of a gateway product, if I may say it like that, right? So that people
Gateway
go,
drug.
hey, yeah, well, they look at Golden Tee and they're like, hey, let's go see what else they've got, you know, and they might be interested in some other stuff. And I think Golden Tee is just more accessible to a new gamer versus something else. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Also, nostalgia is getting younger, you know. And
yeah.
You know, we were talking about what's the demographic. I mean, we have guys in their 60s, and that's cool and everything. But you know, we also need to, you know, appeal to this nostalgia for maybe a little bit of younger crowd, people that this resonates with, remembering good times with their friends, playing in a bar, something like that. And you want to relive that. It's a really fun game. You know, I like playing golf. It's okay. You know, I'm not fanatical about it or anything like that.
I love playing golf.
My nephew is totally into it, loves it. So I get it. I know people who are really into it, really, really love it. And this is, like you said, Steve, is a casual game. It's meant to be, you know, it's obviously different from a lot of the other cabs. I mean, if we just look at Berserk and Frenzy, you know, another thing is you know, a lot of people complained about Berserk and Frenzy being too old, right? You know, so it's like, and we know one thing for sure is that we can't please everybody all the time, although we try, you know, so
yeah, it's tough.
It's tough. And we have to keep it growing and expanding as a company. And I mean, we're really excited about this game, and we think it's a really cool cab. And unfortunately, I don't have it here with me, but the gravy is the DMD topper that you can custom program. And I think that's going to really add, I mean, that, you know, is the Replicade touch, right? That really, you know, cool. Nobody does things like that, adding in, you know, an actual scale topper. Sorry, dog's going crazy here. You know, so we're always trying to take it to the next level with the accessories, and we had to do the topper. So to those that are disappointed and all that, I mean, don't worry, we're going to have plenty more 80s, you know, titles. In fact, the next one is 1983. I ain't going to say much more beyond that, but you know, those will still be our staple, but we have to try other stuff, and we want to make some newer things.
Yeah,
Michelle,
no,
there's
that's
a
good.
couple of. Oh, sorry, Steve. Hold on one second. There was a couple of super chats that came through. One was people seem to like the Frenzy, which has some of the wear and tear. Will you consider? And Asteroids did it with Asteroids too. Will you consider re-releasing some of those older machines in that distressed form factor? I know you've kind of said in the past that ones that are done are done from a collective point of view. But what about ones that are like damaged a little bit? Would you consider re-releasing them?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what we did. We didn't do it that extremely with Dragon Slayer, but you know, we did. You know, that is the idea that we used. You know, instead of like putting the distressed on the actual cab, we just included some stickers and stuff like that. But yeah, for sure, that concept, we're really proud of that. That whole like, we just pulled this out of, you know, a barn or an old arcade, or it was found, it's a barn find, you know, or something like that, and it's dirty, but it's working, you know, it's been overhauled, so it's working. And you know, we will definitely consider doing other cabs and even things that we've released already in that with that. But I'll say something else. I mean, if we released Centipede, for instance, we would want to do a bunch of other updates to it too, because, you know, we've definitely come a long way since then, like with CRT FX, the bezels around the screens, just so many little details that were, you know, we just couldn't capture at that time, although we tried our best. You know, we've evolved, you know, right. So it would never be just the same cab going into production and just with a distressed look. I mean, we would update it more. But that's not our, you know, our MO. Our MO is to keep on making new cabs and new concepts like this, and you know, keep evolving.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Steve. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. I was just going to add to the hit or miss type of titles, meaning look at any software company. They can't all be winners. If you look at Activision, Ubisoft, all these companies that put out AAA multi-million-dollar games, they're not all winners, and they do their best to put the team puts their heart and soul into these games. And you know, it's sometimes a little bit of what's going on in the world and a little bit how people are feeling about certain things in the video game world, all this stuff, right? So there's a lot of factors, and you just got to take a chance and hope people like it, right? So it's the nature of the beast, as one would say, right? So
I mean, there's always going to be vocal people that don't like things.
Yeah, for sure.
I think, you know, that's fine. Everybody, it's still a free world, you know, kind of, right? So that's totally cool. But I think people should take a step back and look at what we achieved. I mean, we you know, this is a whole new board. These are really advanced games. And we put 6 games on there, you know. Normally we haven't never gone past 2. So, I mean, that, and just we're trying to pack in as much value, and, you know, it might be not everybody's cup of tea, but, you know, if you ever play Golden Tee, it's really fun. And like,
it's a great game.
It's casual. And this is something we wanted to bring, like, okay, well, you know, what if you were having a party or you had some of your buddies over or whatever? This is something you just plug into your big screen TV. You know, it's a wireless full-size controller. I'll actually pull a prototype.
You know what's interesting about Golden Tee is that in the early 2000s, I believe, or late 90s, EA tried to compete with Golden Tee with the Tiger Woods arcade machine, and it flopped.
Oh, so, Tiger Woods arcade machine. I vaguely remember that.
Yeah, they tried to compete with Golden Tee, and it didn't happen.
So I like
Golden Tee dominated the market, basically. You know.
Yeah, I mean, because they were around for so long, and they keep evolving and they keep on getting better. I mean, there's big competitions for Golden Tee. You know, they're pretty legit. They were actually the first real esports game.
Wow.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Yeah, they're doing tournaments and online tournaments and things, you know, since the year 2000. So that's pretty impressive. There's a lot of things here with Golden Tee that aren't traditional 80s arcade. It's an evolution, and we dig it, and we think it's cool. And I want to do more games from the 90s and 2000s. I think there's a lot of arcade machines that could be
There's some nice
recreated
ones
at that
in
time.
there.
The
Yeah.
most requested game I've seen, Shiloh, is Pong. Thousands and thousands of people want Pong. Absolutely. They totally want Pong. And Space
That's not
War.
true. No, they don't.
No, they don't.
I'd be willing to bet that a lot more people want Crystal Castles than Pong.
I
Maybe.
don't want to set everybody's anxiety up, but I just looked over at how many people are in the chat. There's like 250 people here. I don't think we've ever reached 250 people before.
So why don't we do a giveaway? Why don't we
could do that. One question before we do the giveaway, though. When you were talking about making this, what was the biggest challenge in get the Golden Tee? I know you said you had to make a new PCB. Was that the biggest challenge? Was it working with the organization to get the license? What was the biggest challenge in getting this to fruition?
Well, I'll tell you a little bit of backing way up. We were trying to get Golden Tee 4 running right out of the gate. So Golden Tee 4 is released in 2000, and it's kind of a step up in the courses and stuff. And it's, really Golden Tee 4 is, that's the cab everybody wants, to buy used. And we tried and tried and tried, and there's a lot of reasons that couldn't get it running. And finally we just said, you know what, we got to, get this out. So we went back and we looked at the older games, and we're able to get those going. And so I mean, that was a lot of time spent just doing that. And the games, they're so much more advanced. Like, we had problems with overheating, and I mean, we had to redesign the board a couple times and stuff like that. So it's been a long road. But IT's been great, and working with Glenn's been great. I mean, again, this is a new concept. So we're like, all right, well, I mean, Glenn's designed a brand new trackball for this. It's heavier, it rolls smoother.
It is heavy. The beast.
Yeah, and we tried to really make the real arcade controller quality. It's nice quality wood. It has real T-molding. Half buttons with cherry micro switches, all that kind of stuff. And then we took it one step further and also made it wireless, where we could have just made it wired, but for the concept, it makes way more sense for it to be wireless, because you're breaking that cable between. You're putting the console up by the television. And
the last thing you need is that thing going flying. Some drunk group of people just yanking on that thing.
I have to put a correction in there. So when I was working with Shiloh, we originally were working. He came to me looking for a trackball. We were talking about doing the wireless technology. So I misspoke when I said we were using my technology. We're not. We're using my trackball, but we're not using my 2.4 gigahertz wireless technology. That's on Shiloh and your team. So I want to make that correction, because I said yesterday a few times, told people it was mine. It's not. We had gone back and forth so many times with that, I forgot that we didn't do the wireless. You've done that separately.
Yeah, one time there was some confusion there that we were going to use your wireless, but it's like, we have a solution that been using for years and years and years in past work and stuff like that. That's super rock solid. And, it seemed like we got everything rolling and working pretty good. I don't think a lot of people understand that we take the time to make sure everything's working, and we're not, writing checks our ass can't cash, and making promises.
You test things before you release them, Shiloh? I've never heard of such a thing.
Yeah, it's a new concept.
It's a rare thing.
But yeah, I mean, it's been a long road. It's been a long road, and it's cool. People, like you said, Glenn, some people are disappointed, but you know what? We're getting a whole bunch of new customers too. So
people will never would have gone to you otherwise, right? Some people would never have gone to you otherwise, but Golden Tee is now pulling in a new demographic for you, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's pulling in new customers, and then we got to keep growing. And if you're just hardcore, I just like games from the 80s or maybe the early 90s, we got you covered there too. But we got to try new things. And again, hopefully this does as well as we think it's going to do with this controller concept. and maybe it's something we take further. So we'll see.
All right, now people have been going in the chat. So we have looks like about 90 people eligible. So if you've been messaging in the chat for the past 15 minutes, you are eligible for the 5th level prize. And Charlotte, why don't you tell us about your 5th level prize?
Yeah, so we're really big on people getting creative with their shelfcades, that we're kind of called them now. It's like, if you got a shelf, we can deck it out, and it can create arcade ambience in your home or your office or whatever it might be. And guys get really creative. And, we just wanted to expand on some other accessories that we've had out for years, like our R-Cade carpets that are UV reactive. So we actually got together with Dirty Donnie, who's my buddy, our buddy, and we came up with this. He came up with this awesome design that actually tiles and blends with our existing arcade carpets. So we're going to be giving one of these away. It's a limited edition piece, and we're also going to give away a couple of our original carpets. And then we just recently dropped a Slurpee cup, a 1/6 scale Slurpee cup, with everybody. Now that we're all we're mini coin op. It's really easy to lose those little coins. So we had a lot of people go, "You need a bulk pack of coins," and we're like, "All right, well, we also need somewhere to hold those coins." And from our recollection, a Slurpee cup, those plastic Slurpee cups from the 80s were, that was something that was around arcades, being reused and held for tokens or quarters. So we did that, and we actually a lot of people missed out on Food Fight, which again, it's funny. It's like, we do something a little more obscure like Food Fight, and it's an older title, but a lot of people don't know it. So, people don't buy it, or they're disappointed with that, so it's like, again, we can't make everybody happy, but I think everybody who has a Food Fight is pretty fucking happy. I mean, it's a great cabinet. It's worth a lot of money now.
Well, that's the thing. We talked about it so many times, and keep typing in the chat. We have about 140 people eligible. So we'll talk another minute, and then we'll go to the first drawing.
Okay.
So, it's
those things, Glenn. It's a pack of all those things.
Yes.
And
I'll
also
pull up the picture real quick.
Yeah.
So it's right here on the lower part of the screen. We see the number 5, the very lower right. You got the rug. You got the other 2 rugs. You got the Slurpee cup with coins. You got the mini light up coin dispenser, and I think that was it, right? That was it.
No, we got the insert coin keychain in there too.
That was it. Insert coin keychain.
That's
what we're going for right now. So we have 140 people. We're going to go over now. I'm going to tell everyone right now. No, this is the low grade, dollar store YouTube channel show, right? So I've never used this giveaway thing before, so I'm doing full disclosure. I'm going to pull it up on here for you guys to see it. This is right here. It's called Nightbot, and you can see right over here we have 152 people eligible. Everyone is eligible here now. You can see regular people, channel members, regular users. The mods themselves are also going to be eligible for this. I basically asked them a few minutes before the show to do this, so they kind of do it out the kindness of their heart, and they're still eligible. Now, obviously, Steven, I'm not eligible, of course, but I'm going to give you guys another minute, and then I'm going to hit this roll it button, and hopefully it's going to pick a winner. If not, I'm in trouble, because that's how we're going to be doing the giveaway. So we'll do it.
Crossed.
Fingers crossed, 157 people. We're going to do it at 8:33. It's 8:32 right now. And when we do that, the 5th level giveaway will be given away. So, Charlotte, once again, I want to just thank you for your generosity. Charlotte is always giving back to the community. Oh, it's 8:33. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
Please work.
William Buckley. Congratulations, William Buckley. You have won this. So we're going to take a note of that and send me an email at glensretroshow@gmail.com. That's glensretroshow, all one word, @gmail.com. And we will get you that prize right out. So it worked. First of all, yay. It worked. I'm pretty happy. So that's our first giveaway.
We'll get it out as long as you live in the greater Los Angeles area. If you live further than that,
You gotta come to your house and pick it up, right?
No, we'll ship. We're gonna ship these prizes anywhere. If you're in Lithuania, it's cool. We got you
It's
covered.
another thing. Shiloh has always done his giveaways worldwide. That's another thing. So he gives back to the community quite a bit, and he'll do it worldwide. A lot of places will not do that. They'll say continental U.S. or whatever. But so Shiloh and New Wave Toys is really, that's why I kind of like working most with Shiloh and a few of the people I like working with, because they do care about the actual community. They're not here to just sell product. Shiloh actually really enjoys these things. It's a passion project for him that fortunately he can make and sell to us. Now, I also have to say, and I know this is not Shiloh's fault, I've fallen into the same trap, is since COVID-19, the whole COVID thing, the prices still have not really settled. Now, product availability has gotten better, but Shiloh could maybe go into that a little bit more. It's prices, people say, well, prices going up. It's really unavoidable.
Yeah. Guys, we all know, we bitch about this every time we're together. It's like going to the grocery store. Like, what's going on, right? So what is the truth here with inflation and what is going on with the economy and stuff like that? And we get that. And here's the problem with our stuff. We're always adding. We're never taking away. And even with Berserk and Frenzy, I mean, we stepped it up again. Those are the most loaded cabs, to date, like putting in the PCB drawer in the front, right? Where you can open that up, and we've made a replica PCB. That costs money, we have to design it, we have to tool it, we have to paint it, we have to do all these things, and we want it to be accurate. That plus adding more accessories, metal lock bars that are magnetic, that go over the coin door.
I love that, by the way.
Plates. Thanks. Yeah. And actually, we're going to be doing that a lot more. And in fact, with Golden Tee, I touched on this for a second, but we're spanning 6 years, right? So Golden Tee 3D came out in 1995. And the last game we have on there is Classic, which is 2001. And during this time, there was artwork updates, there was marquee updates, the card, and even the DMD topper never came into play until 2000. So we're trying to tell a story here of this time, this 6 years. And I hope people can appreciate that. And we also are taking it one step further this year too, and we're letting everybody vote on what marquee we're going to put into production. Yes. Right. So there's 6 games. So that's it's cool. We could use Golden Tee 3D Golf, but is that the best one? Is that the one everybody wants? So
I'm partial to the original.
The original what? Golden Tee?
The very original marquee. That's me, but it's up to the voters. So when you guys place the order, yes. So when you guys place the order, when after 30 days is done, you'll get an email from New Wave Toys doing a poll, asking what you want.
Yep. And the one that gets the most votes is going to win. And we kind of want to do this. And I think with our next cab, we're going to do a Survivor Series for it. Like I said, it's a cab. It's from 1983. And what we might do is get people involved, maybe vote for the T-molding color, something like that. Have a few different options. We're trying out a few different things here, and we love the community. And of course, we want to be here today without everybody's support. So we want to get everybody involved. And at the same time, I mean, we have to try new things, and we have to try to grow. And, we can't just keep on doing the same thing. It's the old definition of it.
I'm gonna come at you with that one now, Shiloh. So as you know, you said you're gonna try new things, you gotta evolve. Everyone knows the quality that you bring to the table. Obviously, the machines are high quality, attention to detail. People do want, and you know it, like P-Dubs, Michael B, all those guys come out, they're wanting either a 3/4 scale or full scale. Will New Wave Toys venture outside of its comfort zone of the 1/6 scale and go bigger? Now, again, I know full size to you is still 1/6 scale to you, but to us it's bigger. So is New Wave Toys even contemplating coming out of the Replicade size and going larger, branching out?
Compete against R-Cade 1-Up. Compete against R-Cade 1-Up.
Yeah,
Sorry.
we
Did
are.
I say that out loud? I'm sorry.
We are. And yeah.
You heard it here, folks. You just heard it.
R-Cade 1-Up, you know,
They need competition.
they need somebody to compete with them. And this is a stepping stone towards that. You know, and that's why we're so happy to work with you, Glenn, and get this brand new trackball in this controller. And you know, this is a step and a bridge towards that. So, you know, hopefully we do as good as we think we're going to do with this. And again, I mean, we gotta, you know, get new people, and we have to keep growing so we can do more niche things like a food fight, you know, or, you know, whatever it might be. Right. So, you know, that's what we're looking to do is kind of fuel, you know, the games that we really, really, really love. I mean, you're not, you know, Golden Tee is a great game and stuff, but again, it's meant for kind of almost a little bit of a different play pattern if you're using the full size controller, right? You're serious. You're going to want to really be able to play the game,
Right,
you know,
exactly.
and know how to play with the full size controller, right? And want to, you know, get into it with your friends and, you know, bet $5 on the round or whatever it might be, like real golf. You know, so we're looking at it. It's a little bit of a different concept. But at the same time, it's going to fit in with the rest of our arcade stuff and look really cool. And especially with the DMD topper, it's a great
I'm
cap.
not complaining. I'm sorry. I love golf. I love video games. This is perfect.
Yeah, and you know, it's funny. It was between this and Birdie King. You know, so I'm like, let's go new. If you guys remember Birdie King.
Birdie
Well, the
King.
next
I've
thing
never
too,
heard of it, but it's like, sure.
Oh,
Right
it
now-
shows how old I am, man. I mean, you know, that was like an old school golf game. It's pretty fun.
But now
It's
the thing is, right now, Shiloh, with the 1/6 scale, you build them, you have them shipped in, and you ship them from your factory. If we do go to these other scales, would it still be shipping from New Wave? Are you looking at actual, like, not retail stores, but, you know, big box stores selling your products? Because you did sell in Best Buy for a while, correct? With the I remember the Centipede, and a few of them were at Best Buy. Is that still something on your roadmap to have your stuff in product stores? People can pick them up that way?
In a different form factor. Replicade, it's kind of is what it is now. It's a B2C thing, and we're kind of happy about that because it helps us keep the costs down. And of course, the costs are raising, and we want to talk more about it. We can, but you know, we keep putting more in, and you know, there's been, I'll tell you, the last 6 months for New Wave Toys has been a real growing pains period. We were up 60% year over year last year, and we're trending really well this year again. And a lot of changes were made and things like that. And part of it was taking a step back and looking at the pricing. And, you know, it's really on me at the end of the day, because it'll be like, we'll get initial pricing. Like I'll use Zoltar, which is actually, we're going to be done in 2 weeks in Zoltar, guys, which is really great. Yeah, it's turned out really nice. But, you know, when we first got the initial quote, we made the initial prototype, there's one price. And then as you're developing, you're like, well, you can't use ABS for the Windows. You got to use PC. Okay, well, there's an upcharge for that. Okay, well, we want to try to get this IR sensor working. Okay, well, you know, there's charge for that, right? And it's like, well, this deco doesn't look great. Okay, well, we need to add, you know, 5 more deco hits. All right, that all costs money. All of a sudden, it's a completely different bomb, you know? And it's like, so with us, if you pre-order, you're going to get a hell of a deal because it's based on whatever that price is at that time. And like right now, I mean, at one time, you could pre-order, you know, Zoltar with the discount for $80, and it's going to be $150. So it's always a good idea to
go on eBay for $500.
Yeah,
take your pick.
But you know, Glenn, to your point, you know, Replicade is you need to see it to really appreciate it. Just looking at the box, I mean, people will just be like, "Oh, those are pictures of the original cab on the box." They don't look and see that, oh, that's actually what's in the box.
Yes.
Right. So, beyond doing a big retail program and having like live product out there and all this kind of stuff, we keep growing. We keep growing our B2C, and that's how we're going to keep Replicade. But with these new projects and these new products, like this full size things, yeah, we're definitely looking at retail placement. And again, that's all great news, for anybody that's just, really hardcore into the 80s and maybe 70s, 80s, and 90s games.
Right. Because the big problem right now is, I mean, there's a lot of different things people can go with a full size cabinet, obviously, but just with your attention to detail, that's, I think, the thing people are really looking for, is that attention to detail. So I'm glad to hear that actually at some point, not saying today, not saying tomorrow, but at some point, you'll be there. And that's actually really good news.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of kept everybody strung along there, Glenn, with this project, and it's kind of funny because everybody thought that's what it was going to be, and again, maybe they're disappointed, but I know some people think that's really fucking cool too, So, not everybody's disappointed. A lot of people really like it, and if you're expecting a full size cab or something along those lines from us, stay tuned. It's a lot of work. And we want to do it right. And we want people to exceed expectations with people.
Right.
So absolutely. Stay tuned.
I'm just going to go and say it. R-Cade 1-Up set the bar nice and low for you. So all you can do is above.
Yeah.
So it's not hard to hop over that bar.
I challenge anybody to even look at their 35th anniversary Golden Tee and compare it to ours. We have an accurate.
So you could just go above that, and you're great golden. That if you knock it out of the park, they're just gonna do catch up all the time.
Well, I don't understand how you can make a Golden Tee and not get the screen angle right, because your hands are gonna hit it.
And that's what we've been seeing. There's been some videos of that where people have been like either jamming their fingers into it or hitting the display.
That's called lack of play testing.
It's like, how lazy can you be? Just look at the original cab. That inlay is that,
that thing's on an angle for a reason.
Let's just say that R-Cade 1-Up has never really been about the details. They've released their Tempest cabinet with the screen horizontal instead of vertical.
Yeah.
They don't put the controller. So they've done all things like that in the past, which is why I kind of got into this. I was trying to help them, and that's a whole nother ball of wax. But P-Dub's got a quick super chat. When can we see some Golden Tee Replicade gameplay? Well, yes. I was just asking that actually, P-Dub. So, of course, at $5 for a question, I was just about to ask anyway. So,
you'll see a bunch. Yeah, there'll be a bunch of stuff released here over the next few weeks. We want to show more of the DMD topper, the gameplay, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
Now, on that DMD topper, is that a single or it looks like a double row? Is it a double row or is it a single row?
It's a double or single, so it does both. Again, I wish I had one here. We have like 6 of them.
Hold on. I can pull this up at least for 1 second. Let me pull this up here real quick. So you can see right here on the top where you do see Replicade. So you can do that row, and there's still a row below that. So you can do Replicade New Wave Toys. Now, does it do things like, will it scroll? Does it just come on?
Yeah, it scrolls. They come down. They do.
Like Goodyear? Like the Goodyear blimp, it would just scroll around? Like Goodyear blimp? You remember the Goodyear blimp where the text came down and disappeared? That type of thing?
Yeah, it does all that. Again, this is a whole new PCBA we designed for this. We had to source the screens. The little DMD. It's programmable, and it's all this stuff. It's like, so you might look at it and go, that cost $1, but trust me, it costs a whole lot more than that.
I'd buy that for $1. That catchphrase. Now, for that,
it has all that animation, all the
and for that to work, I assume it's a USB cable that you plug into your PC to program it, and then that same USB cable goes in the back of the Replicade's USB port to power it. Is that correct?
That's right, but it also has a built-in battery.
Oh, it does?
Yep.
Okay, so the battery... I'm sorry, go ahead, Steven.
Let's do another giveaway, because we're getting close to... You know what? Because our friend Shiloh here has got a friend to meet up, and
That's right. So,
you know, we don't want to squeeze in all 4 giveaways that
That's
are
true,
left
that's
in
true.
the next 5 minutes,
All right,
kind of
let's-
thing. So I'm
Very
just
true.
saying,
So let's go to
I'm sure
giveaways.
people will love that. You know,
So this one is a really cool one. I know Steven's not eligible and he's pissed. So the fourth giveaway, is the M90 Mini and Micro Blaster. You're getting a Mini Blaster and a Micro Blaster. And Steven has been talking for months. I really want to get those. Steven, you're not eligible. So make sure you're active in the chat right now. Type what you like about New Wave Toys, what you want about this thing. Start typing right now, and we'll give you 2 minutes, and then we will pull the giveaway. And now that we know it works, I got to tell you, I got like 3 hours sleep last night, Charlotte, because I was stressing over this giveaway thing. It was going to work or not, because I
Seems
couldn't
to work.
test it. It only works when you're live, and I
Oh, really?
were going nuts. I'm like, if this didn't work, I was dead meat. So I'm
Hey,
going to
that
pull it up
goes
right
with
now.
the motto of our show. We do stuff by the seat of our pants here. Nothing more, nothing less.
Totally do. So I'm pulling it up right here, so we can see right now we have about 157 people eligible. William Buckley, you are not. You already won a prize. But keep typing. We're going to go till 51, 8:51. Give you guys time to type in the chat, and it is going
I'm
nuts.
watching the chat. I'm watching the chat, and I want to hurl. That's
So,
how fast it's scrolling by.
Let's talk about the M90s for a second. Like we love music, you know, and if you had a full size arcade, the M90 Mini is going to fill that whole thing up with really good sound.
It sounds
And if you
really
got a
good.
1.6 arcade, the little
Shut up.
micro,
I don't want to hear it because I
fine.
don't have one.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
really,
cool,
you know-
Steven. We'll get you one if you're nice to me. But like we have analog tuners, right? Bass,
That's
treble,
cool.
balance.
I'm
Stuff
impressed.
people don't do anymore.
But I was really impressed with the sound quality that came out of it. I mean, they really sound good.
They really do, and we worked really hard to get them there in their scale.
Well, they wouldn't. Like, I mean, when you think about it, if you produce something like this, it's like producing an arcade that wasn't up to snuff in a sense. In this music, the speaker box, we'll call it, is no different, probably, right?
Right.
I mean, like if you put
Oh,
this thing
oh,
out there and
hold
it
on,
sounds like
Steven.
crap, people will be bitching.
Hold your thought. We're at
Oh, you're hitting.
851. We have 181 people eligible right now. Let's see who's going to win this twin pack of the M90 Mini and Micro. 1, 2, 3. Let's roll the dice. Holy shnikes! Twisted Gaming TV, you just won
Cool.
yourself a twin pack M90 Mini and Micro Blaster.
He's probably dancing around his computer screen right now.
He is.
All
And
right,
again,
Mine.
total transparency. You can see everyone that was in the list right here. I didn't pick it. I hit the roll button. Twisted. Send me an email. You know it?
Yeah, super chat, and it went by really fast.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it. It went by that fast.
It's a $2, $1.99 super chat, and it went. Pew.
I can't even catch. It's going by so fast. I can't even catch up. So, Twisted, congratulations. So, Shiloh,
Hold
talk
on,
a
let
little
me-
bit more about what he just won. Tell him what he's won, Shiloh.
Well, Twisted. I wish I could really do a Vanna White, but I mean, this is an iconic boombox that we replicated in a couple different scales. Of course, it's the JVC M90, you know, made famous by the Beastie Boys and LL Cool J. Of course, it was the album cover for LL Cool J's radio LP. It is the most iconic boombox ever. And it was, I believe, $400 US when it came out in like, you know, the early 80s. And it was not cheap. So I think the only people that could actually afford it were LL Cool J and the Beastie Boys. But I mean, it's just the most badass.
When you're in
boombox
high
there
school,
is.
I remember, just to go down memory lane about these things, I remember in high school that everybody saved up their allowance to buy one. And then
Oh,
you
yeah.
had one guy that had the cheap Sears
Yeah.
handle model.
Yeah.
And then you had the
Yeah.
dude that had basically this thing.
Yeah.
And it's like he made sure he had it on his shoulder and, you know, made sure everybody heard it. And it was pretty interesting times. You know what I mean?
It was a thing, man. Back in the day,
It really was.
You're totally
miss
right
those
about
days.
the candle, or
The
Claritin,
RCAs.
or one of these
Oh,
off-brands.
and they'd bring them on the bus when you went to like a track meet or something like that, and they'd have them on the bus, and the teacher would be like, "Shut that thing off," and it'd be like, "No way," turning it up, and by the time the bus ride was finished, the batteries were dead.
Yeah,
It was pretty funny.
Back in the day, like, I'm a big pro wrestling fan. Back then, the arenas never piped music and stuff like that. So the way they would, if a guy, a wrestler had a walkout with music, they usually had a boombox that they carried. I thought that was always kind of cool. And I just remember we all had one. And it was either really cheap or, yeah, you're right, or somebody had money and they had something that sounded really great. But it was all about ripping cassette tapes back then, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Recording off the radio. You'd get, got to record Sharp Dressed
Had
Man
the
by ZZ
microphone
Top
right
or something.
there, or off your record player.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or if
Making
you
tapes.
were risking it, it was on an 8-track to a cassette. That was playing with fire right there, from an 8-track to a cassette. Yeah.
Tracks, man.
Shout
Those
out
didn't-
real quick. Another super chat from P-Dubs. I'm breaking P-Dubs bank today. He's looking for any updates on, we talked a little bit about Zoltar, but Zoltar, the mini pinball, the skeet ball machine, the mini bikes, and also the Dragon's Lair little TV set that goes on top. How are we doing with all those?
Good questions. Yeah. So first and foremost, we got to get Zoltar out, and that's what we're focused on right now. We're almost there. We're going to be done at the end of the month and get these on the water. I have to brag a little bit, because we sent a production sample to Characters Unlimited, and I'm going to include this in an update here probably next week with Zoltar, let everybody know where we're at. But they were so complimentary. It was just so nice to hear. And I mean, this is the guy who basically has been making Zoltars, up there in Boulder for whatever it is, I think since the 60s.
Wow.
And he was just like, I can't believe you made everything work from the full size one. He's just blown away,
I cannot wait. I cannot wait.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I can't.
Well, it's coming. It's next up. What was the next one? Was the mini TVs, the spectator monitors?
Yes.
Yeah. So we needed to take a step back, and we're working on another project that's going to use the same solution that we're going to use in the mini TV. Currently, and the one we've shown, it works with HDMI, but it only really scales with our Replicade. So beyond working with the Replicade, it doesn't really hold it. I mean, if you never had a Replicade and you plugged it in, the scaling is going to be, the aspect ratio is going to be all off, right? So we took a step back and said, well, how can we make this so at least we have an RCA jack input? So if you have an older VCR or game console or something like that, you'd be able to use it with either HDMI or with the RCA jack. So we want to just make sure we could sell more than we would just to people who are looking for a spectator monitor for their Dragon's Lair or Space Ace. So we would have it done already, but we want to, again, we need to be smart. We're doing a project. We have to maximize it as much as possible. Now, BMX bikes, we're doing the Mongoose Moto Mag. We teased it last year. We're actually finished tooling, and we're making production samples, and we're getting ready to drop that. That's another fun thing that either you can use as a prop in your shelfcade or your setup, or we also want to appeal to old school BMX heads who may not know about Replicade and get into collecting these bikes. And then hopefully, most people back then were into arcades. We're also into BMX and vice versa, right? So again, we're always trying to bring more and more people in through our products and through our licensing.
Cool.
And skeet ball, I will tell you, we did a survey and people want it. And so we're going to give it to you, so that's another thing for this year. And so yeah, it's going to happen. And thanks for everybody who participated in the survey.
That's really
Did
cool.
I get all your questions, P-Dub?
Oh, I was going to say real quick, Cheryl, that's people need to also remember, because people, I've seen a lot, especially in the fan page, that they expect more the arcade machines to come out. But the Replicade series is more than just the arcade machines. There's a lot of cool other little things like the BMX bike, ski ball machine. It's really not just about those big machines. And for people to understand too, it takes a long time to design an Asteroids or a Food Fight or the Dragon's Lair or the Golden Tee. And in between those times, you can get these nice rugs. You can get a nice bike. You can get the little Slurpee cup. You get the coins. There's other things that Shiloh's doing. And a lot of people do make these little, little home setups, these little mini arcades, right? So it's really more than just that machine. You want to do the whole enchilada, including bubble gum, chewed bubble gum, and the cigarette machines. Oh, what's going on with the cigarette machines?
Oh, I'm glad you asked, Glenn. I got final tool beauties right here.
Look at
Oh,
that.
geez. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. These turned out right.
Really, it is nice.
Really beautiful tooled. We did a lot of mods. We got all these fake cigarette brands.
Yeah, I was going to say, how does that work by
hilarious.
getting the brand of these old cigarettes, like Players Light and all this stuff?
Yeah,
whatever.
right. My dad used to smoke Export A. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
I think
green.
those are more Canadian.
Yeah.
Too bad
cigarettes.
it couldn't dispense those little candy cigarettes. Those little candy cigarettes, like pure sugar.
Yeah, then
Popeye,
you blow the puff out.
the little
Blow the
Popeye
puff with
cigarettes.
sugar.
Is that the ones?
Yes. Oh, look at that.
And here's the Automat.
And these are
That's funny.
basically charging machines. There's no battery in it, but you can connect your machines to charge them up, correct?
Looks like
Recommendo,
USB hub.
it's the same as our change machine that we're actually we're doing a small production run on that one too. Again, people want it, So we figure the change machine, the wooden version, is just going to be a staple going forward. So we want to do other chargers, and basically the cadence is as soon as we're done Zoltar, we're going to transition into the USB machines, into the cigarette machines, but they're, as you can see, they're looking really great, and we're just working on the production schedule right now.
There's some people in the chat that are like, please make it smell like real cigarettes. And I'm like, wow. Okay, that's taking it to a whole new level right there. I was sitting there going, yeah, I don't know, man. I used to go to Grandma and Grandpa's place, and they smoked like chimneys, and I did not like that place at all. So
it's
I don't know if I want that in my house.
It's not a horrible idea, especially when you're doing like a Dharma, because when I went to the arcades, it was a pizza place. It was smoking cigarettes left. I got burned like half the time as a kid. You're leaning up on the machine, the guy's flicking a cigarette in your face, like, and you're getting burned.
You want the ashtrays bolted to the side.
Smoking was such a huge. Sorry, I'm talking over you, but I just want to say, smoking was such a huge part of the arcade back especially in the 80s.
All that secondhand smoke and all those ashtrays that are bolted on the side of the arcade machines. Remember those? The little bolted, like they just bolted an ashtray on the side because people would just put their cigarettes right on the overlays. You know, like wow.
We actually
it's time again.
Yeah, do a giveaway.
Yeah, do it. But I'll tell you, Steve, we did an overhaul edition of Asteroids, and we actually included the Siggy burns on that buttons.
It looked real awesome. So,
like I'll give you an example. I have a TMNT here, a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles thing, and I got this full size, and then the plexiglass on the top of this thing had cigarette burns out the wazoo, and when I took that off, it looked brand new underneath. It was pretty funny. So anyways, continue with the giveaway.
One second. So we're now on the third giveaway, which is a fantastic Coke machine that even surprised Shiloh at the Cleveland Gaming Classic when he put his Coke in there, how cold it got. And it really does get your Coke cold, or any other beverage, but you want to drink a Coke. So now,
I don't know if I was surprised as much as I was just pleased that it was. I can't remember if it was hot in there or not. I actually think it was.
Okay. It was pretty hot in that area. It was warm.
so when Steven gave me a cold Sprite out of there, it really hit the spot. I was very, very
And it was
happy.
cold. That
It was
machine
freaking
really
cool,
does cool. It really does. So not only does it look great, and you press
It's a
it, put
mini
little
fridge.
coins in, you get little soda cans out, but it really is functional. It cools the beverage. So we're going to do this till 9:04. So you have about a minute. We have 190 people eligible. So go in there. Why do you like New Wave Toys? Why do you like Coca-Cola? Bang in there right now. You have about 30 seconds left, and we will pick another winner, again, through the graces of New Wave Toys. Donating
We
a
have to
Coke machine.
clarify Coke, the beverage, not the illegal drug. Just saying.
Yeah, sure.
Just saying, we're not
Well,
that kind of channel
you
here.
can put your weed in it if you want.
Yeah.
Weed in it.
Wherever it is legal in whatever state or country.
Of course, it should be legal where you guys have that.
It is here in New York anyway these days. Okay, we are time. It's 9:04. We have 194 eligible people. Who is going to win?
Good luck again. Good luck.
Good luck. New Wave Toys. 1,
Good luck.
2, 3. Greg Cullen. Congratulations. You just won a Coca-Cola vending machine from New Wave Toys. Please make sure you reach out to me at glensretroshow, all one word, @gmail.com with your name, address, phone number. We'll get that over to Charlotte New Wave Toys, and we will get that out to you. Congratulations.
Congrats. That's
Thank you.
awesome.
Congrats, Greg. You won yourself a replica 1986 Dixie, what is it? Dixie Martin, I think is the company. Replica mini fridge with vending action. Yes, it has vending action. You could put in mini coins and you can dispense.
Like you suggested earlier, you can put your weed in there if you want.
So mini can. And you know what the magic is?
If you're
you know
into
what
that
the
sort of
magic
thing.
is, guys? Is when if you have it on and you're cooling things with your mini fridge, it comes out and because the can is solid aluminum, it feels cold. I think it's the coolest little.
That is true. And if you want to throw it at your younger brother or sister, it'll hurt them. It's going to hurt.
Yeah, it's solid like a bullet.
It really is. And how hard is it to get these? People don't realize it. How hard is it to get like a Coke license, or is it really just the money? Like they care about the money?
Oh,
but
Coke wants to make sure you're legitimate business and stuff like that, But yeah, it's very expensive license. Very expensive license. And I told the story before, but I used to work at the Coke bottling plant where I grew up. It was a bottle sorter.
Canada.
Yeah, up there in Canada when we used to refill the bottles still. And I eventually got promoted to like driving the forklift and loading the trucks and stuff like that. And I really love the memory of working there. And I've always loved Coke. I've never been a big Pepsi guy. I also love Coke.
I always liked you, Shiloh. I knew it. I always liked you, buddy.
I also like it mixed with some whiskey.
Rum and Coke. Can't go wrong with rum and Coke.
You can put that in your mini fridge that you want to.
Rye and Coke, whiskey, bourbon and Coke. That's my favorite drink. So yeah, again, the vending machine, Coke machines, these are limited edition. What we have in the barn right now is that's all we're going to make. So again, we want these to be collectible. And we did a new Coke version too, actually sold out of those last year. And that was really fun. And it was cool that, Coke was open to licensing the new Coke brand to us.
They tried to forget that brand, right? They really want to forget New Coke.
Well, they do and they don't, because it actually it's weird. It's a weird thing where they fail miserably.
In my
but when
opinion.
they brought Coke back, they fucking killed Pepsi again. It worked,
But
it didn't
it's
work
part
the
of
way they
history
thought it was
when you
going to
think
work.
about it, right? Like it's the whole thing, that whole campaign got them a lot of attention.
Yep.
And it's part of history, so they should bury it. I mean, at the end of the day, hey, it's part of our childhood, and that's it. That's all, So,
Michelle, I have to ask you. Go ahead.
I was just going to say they did a little thing with Stranger Things, right?
Yes.
Being era correct with Stranger Things and stuff like that, and us, and so I mean, that was pretty cool of them. So yeah, we're really proud of our Coke machine. And if you've ever bought one of these USB mini fridges or something, they don't work.
No.
And Glenn's right. It will get your drink nice and cold.
It
Well,
will.
Microsoft made one for the Series X Xbox. I had never tried it if it works or not, but they did
I
a
hear
similar product.
it
we'll call
didn't work very well, and in fact had
No,
a
eh?
massive condensation problem and lots of leaking and stuff like that. But they
Oh, wow.
sold a fucking shitload of them.
They did. They did. So real quick, so we got another super chat asking about Marble Madness. So it's a two-part question. You know, is Marble Madness possibly in the roadmap? But people really want to know, Shiloh, the Golden Tee. That's what we're really talking about today. How does it feel? Was it making sure the trackball worked on the small machine and of course mine, dialed in properly? Was that part of the holdup? Like people really want to know how it feels with my trackball, but it's also the trackball on the actual Replicade. How do they feel?
Two completely different playing experiences. So if you've ever played any of our trackball games, you don't really spin our trackballs. You kind of just more subtly move them. Whereas you might be spinning a lot more with a larger full-scale trackball, right? So that's the same with Golden Tee. You're not trying to spin the little ball as hard as you can because it just doesn't spin that well because of the scale, right? So it's more of a subtle gesture, bringing it back and pointing it where you want when you're playing on the actual cab. And of course, the whole point of doing the real arcade stick is to get you that arcade accurate controls with the full size trackball and the buttons, right? And with that, I mean, you know, no worries with your hand hitting anything, and it's it feels just like it feels great. It feels just like the arcade.
Like I said, the bar is set nice and low.
Shiloh, I don't know if you talked about it before. I missed it. The pinball, black hole. What was the update on the pinball?
Got to get an update out to everybody on that. We actually had a little bit of a hiccup. It's funny. A lot of people, I think we got lazy with the pinball and what we're offering. But I'll tell you what, it's not trivial. It is not a trivial project at all. And in fact, our factory gave up, quit. So
Really?
we had to find a new factory. Yeah. So we're just getting up to speed with the new factory. They're working on a prototype right now. So we wasted a few months there, but we're back on track. And this is a real trusted, really high-end, really great factory. So we're back on track. It's very complex. It is so complex, the tooling and everything to get all the details of the playing fields in there.
Wow.
And everything else. It's funny because you'd think, well, all you're doing is really making a model. But I mean, when you put it into a super track mode or any of the track modes, it's functioning and all the LED sequences and the scoring and the sound, everything is just like it would be if you were playing a game of pinball.
I want to say something, Glenn, before we go. I want to thank Shiloh for being so transparent about all this, because most companies would not disclose the dirty laundry, so to speak. You know what I mean? And being transparent, I think most of the people in the chat in this community appreciate that, and I think they'd rather hear the truth versus this PR bullshit, we'll call it. You know what I mean? Where people are just like. The new slogan: "We make factories quit." Somebody put a $2 bomb.
They threw in the towel, man. They were just like, "No, we can't achieve what you want."
No, but most places aren't that transparent. They'll just try to hide it. They'll BS people for months, and I think just hearing the truth, I think most people go, "Okay, yeah, that's cool," And I don't know why there's a need to lie from other companies. You know what I mean?
Man, I mean, we're too dumb to lie. You know what I mean? It's like we can't lie because you remember what the lie is. It's just like, be honest. I mean, and we're all in this together, and I think that's what the coolest thing about New Wave Toys is, and the way we started, and we're so connected to the community.
Stay transparent. That's all I gotta say.
Well, that's a buzzword nowadays, right? Where companies want to be transparent. It's like we are good or bad.
Really, really transparent, I meant.
Yeah. But we're stoked about pinball, and we want to see it evolve. You know, we always have these problems when we first do a project. You know, with Zoltar with the animatronics, it's like it takes longer than although we do a ton of work before it. It always takes longer. It's the same thing with Centipede, but now we can crank out cabs pretty fast. You know, as long as we have you know, a professional testing our software and our firmware, which is another thing. I don't think people really realize how well our games play and how much care and attention we take in actual ROMs and cleaning them up and making sure it's accurate. And I'm telling you, we had Paul Dean. We put out a thing with Berserk and Frenzy. We said, you know, join our crew if you're a Berserk and Frenzy professional, like you're fanatic, you can rack up high scores. And Paul Dean came to us and was actually introduced to us through a couple other of our friends. And this guy's like a world record holder, and he played Frenzy for 42 hours straight.
Wow.
And he came back and he was doing the game testing, and he came back with bug lists and stuff. And it's like, that stuff, like,
That's golden.
would never have remembered or known unless you've played the game that much, right? So
That's awesome.
we really try. We really do. And
okay, so finish that thought.
no, we're just going to keep on doing that. I mean, because as we do this like real controller now, it's going to become more and more important. You know, because people, I think, will play more when it's hooked up to a big screen TV and you have full-size controls. Will they or won't they? I think they will.
I think they will too. So
real quick, because we don't run out of time here, we're going to do another giveaway. And this is going to be for Berserk, just a standalone Berserk. It's not the twin pack. So this is the second level prize giveaway. So start pounding in the chat right now. We'll do a 9:16. So you got about a minute. We have about 194 people currently eligible. Michelle, tell us a little bit more about the Berserk before we start giving that one away.
Well, you know, Berserk is one of those games that was everywhere. And I think it was a groundbreaking game. And just the voice synthesis is so cool. Oh, yeah. And I mean, I love that. And I love that about Black Hole too, is that we have that, right? And just how smart they were, Stern, with like the coin detected in pocket in the attract mode call out.
That's pretty cool.
That got me when I was a kid. You know,
coin detected in pocket. I was like, how did it know?
Yeah. What is inside this thing? How does it have some sort of scanner? You know, but that was just that was brilliant. And you know, that game, it went on to influence freaking Robotron.
Yes.
You know?
Oh yeah.
It's kind of the framework for Robotron, according to Eugene Jarvis, which of course is a Grail game that we all love. And I just remember seeing it everywhere. And Frenzies were a lot more rare.
Yeah,
and
I never saw a Frenzy. Berserk, I saw
me neither.
all over the place.
Yeah, I never saw Frenzy in the arcade. When it came out for the Coleco version, I'm like, I never saw this thing before. You know?
Yeah.
So
it definitely was a lot lower. I mean, Berserk was a 50,000 cab run.
That's pretty damn
Frenzy
good.
was what?
But that's up there. Like, I mean, I think Asteroids is I have to check. I think 70,000, something.
What
like
was
that.
Frenzy? Was it lower? A lot lower?
There's no record for Frenzy really, but yeah, way lower.
Wow.
They might have waited too long. I mean, it was like 3 year. I think a 2 or 3 year wait before they did Frenzy. But
wow.
Yeah, and it was basically the same. It was some slightly different mechanics, but still was basically Berserk. I think it didn't. Was it like a Pac-Man versus Miss Pac-Man? There was a lot more changes, even though it was the same type.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, we have 206 people eligible right now for a New Wave Toys Berserk. So we are going to pick one of you out there.
Good luck, everybody.
1, 2, kill the humanoid. 3,
2.5.
Michael B. I don't know. That's not Michael B. the Game Genie, is it? I don't know.
Michael B. The Game Genie?
I don't know. Is that Michael B. the Game Genie? I don't know. I thought he actually put his whole name, but it could be. I don't know. You guys saw it. There was And 8 people here. I just hit the roll it. So Michael B, which Michael B be it?
Isn't Michael B supposed to be doing gamer news right now with
He
P-Dubs?
should be, but it wouldn't surprise me if he was moonlighting and sticking over here. So it could be Michael
Mitchell
B.
B.
I don't know.
It's
Oh, it's
Mitchell.
Mitchell. I'm not wearing my
Mitchell B?
glasses.
If
Mitchell
there's
B.
somebody in the
There you
chat
go.
said Mitchell B is the
There you
winner,
go.
not Michael B. Mitchell B.
Awesome. So Mitchell B. That's why I got to get glasses, Alice. Get glasses.
Well, I'm surprised I saw that. That chat is scrolling so damn fast.
It is. It is. Mitchell B. Mitchell B. Please send me an email at glensretroshow, all one word, at gmail.com with your name, address, and phone number. We can get that over to Shiloh, and he will email you out a Replicade.
Preferably all the winners if you use your Gmail account that's tied to the winning thing. So don't use your wife's Gmail account and email Glenn, because he'll probably go, no, sorry, not the right person. So make sure you do that when you email Glenn, that you use the Gmail account that you use to be in the chat, right?
Correct. Thank you, Stephen. See, you know contest.
Just saying, because you never know. I'll email Glenn and go, hey, my name is Mitchell B. Where's my, where's my arcade machine there, buddy?
And just so you guys know, don't go anywhere, because we have the grand prize still, which is a Replicade, Berserk, and Frenzy. And the Frenzies are no longer available. They are like gone. So the grand prize will be the twin pack. So stay tuned. We're going to do that before the end of the show.
And the Tesla Neuralink.
Oh, get out of here. No, we're not.
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
No Neuralink.
No. But the reason for the original giveaway and contest, I can pull it up over here, my goodness, was for this year, the official global New Wave Toys fan page. Now, up until a couple of days ago, it was 4,200. And then in the past 12, 13 hours, we got 1,000 people just joining the group. So kudos to Shiloh. This is a great spot. And the good thing about this, honestly, you guys, if you can and have not joined, please do so, because Shiloh and New Wave Toys, they're in there. They're in there. They look for feedback, and they communicate back and forth through there. And they actually like talking to their fans. When you went to the shows, Shiloh and his team, they're regular people. They just come up and talk to you guys. They're just some people who enjoy this as much as you do, right?
They're not just the corporate fat cats with big fat bellies and cigars. They're not those people. You know, those people that say, yeah, we love video games, and they really don't, right? So they're not those people.
No, we're all about, 100%. We're about the whole arcade vibe and building upon that with all these other things we do. We feel it all ties in, and it's all part of the same arcade life. It's like all the things we were into at the same time, and bringing them all together with Replicade. That's what we're doing. So we really appreciate everybody. We really do. Not just saying that because, again, we wouldn't be here without the support of everybody. And it's great. Just keep an open mind. And, remember, we're about all the decades of arcade life, and the cabs and what was going on and how it changed. And, we're not just stuck in one, pigeonhole of a certain time period and that's it. It's more than that.
I have a question and a weird, not a request, but sort of. Since you showed us the we'll call it the questionable products of cigarettes machine. What about a case of beer or something like that, like a Molson X case of 2-4 or something like that?
So get the alcohol in with the
might as well. Put the case of beer right beside the arcade machine and put G.I. Joe there holding a cold one. And I don't know. I'm just saying.
Well, people were asking for a vending machine, like a sandwich or a snacks machine as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen,
it's a bottomless pit of ideas.
We definitely monitor the fan page. We might not always respond to every single thing because we just don't have the time. Everybody's wearing a ton of hats, but we certainly love the feedback, and a lot of things we've done, have been people's suggestions.
Cool.
And that's that's really pretty cool, don't you think? I mean, that's what
totally.
we do listen to people, and you'll see sometimes like I suggest. It's like somebody will be like, I suggest, and they did, and we did
That's
it.
cool.
Yeah.
Well, if I see the case of beer, I'll take credit for it. You got to go up to the Labatt's or Molson, do the Canadian ones at least, and then get a mini Bob and Doug. I'm exaggerating here. Never mind.
No, our previous winner, Mitchell B, said he actually won $4 in the lottery, so it's been a good day for him. And he suggested
Really?
a 1/6 scale condom machine might be a good product as well.
Well, that'll have to be in the 1/6 scale public washroom.
Yeah, Shiloh, there's obviously
that stinks like that reeks like piss.
Get that smell
I
in
don't
there.
need that. There's some gaming shows coming up. Is New Wave Toys going to any gaming conventions coming up?
We are. We're just not sure what we're going to do yet for the fall. Portland's probably going to happen.
Cool.
And then we're looking at a few other things. So
Cool.
Stand by for announcements. I'm not sure if we're going to do Cleveland again. That was fun and everything. It's a bit of a haul for us.
Same. Agree with you there. But it was fun. It was a good time out there.
Yeah, it was really fun, and it was really fun to meet people and hang out and have drink a few pops and shoot the shit and stuff. It was really awesome.
Time for a
Oh
urinal.
no, an urinal! Wow, with the breath mints, the big mints at the bottom. No,
Oh, the piss puck.
yeah, the piss puck. Yeah.
So, Shiloh, you have a new member of your family, do you not?
I do.
Where is this new member of the family?
This member of the family is sleeping on my foot right now.
Oh, out like a light. So Shiloh added to his family quite recently.
Well, we added to the New Wave family with the New Wave dog. And shall I wake her up and show everybody the?
If you don't mind, it's up to you.
Okay.
Might be
She's
angry
adorable.
there.
Come
She's
on,
adorable.
Francie. Come on, come here. Come on, come here. Come here, baby. Come on. Come here. He's all sleepy. What's that? Come here. Yeah, I lost my old dog about actually a year ago, and I wasn't sure if I was ever going to get another one. And then as we're kind of getting closer to the anniversary, I'm like, I want another dog, man. I really miss her. Come here. Come here. Come here. Hold on a sec.
You only see this on Kicking It Old School, by the way. This is an exclusive.
I
Shiloh
expected Shiloh to go, come on, come on, come on.
She's so tired. She's just flopping around.
Look at that.
Look at this. Ooh.
Everyone's asking what's the name?
It's Frenzy.
Frenzy. Cool.
Orange and
Command
blue.
the
Why?
cabinet.
Because you told us before the show. Why is she called Frenzy? You got to tell us. Tell the audience.
Well, she's named after the Frenzy Cup because she's orange and blue.
There you go. Awesome.
Puppies for everyone.
Pretty cute, huh?
Adorable. And the eyes. And you said she's already like potty trained. She's already beat you in asteroids, I think you said. Is that
She's
right?
really good at Berserk and Frenzy.
See? Look how cute.
Yeah. Yeah. Real little
Little
sweetheart.
baby is what that
look at
is.
that.
I
Yeah,
like do everything with her. It's crazy.
And you can't
So
beat that new dog
you
smell.
know, I crate trained her. This is the first time I ever crate trained a dog. I usually let them just run rampant, but I'm really glad he did because it makes it a lot easier.
Somebody was asking if she was a rescue.
No, she's not a rescue.
Oh, okay. Somebody was just asking, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, I rescued her, I guess, in a way.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah,
we're at
she's a really great
9:27, Glenn.
Yep.
I know that Shiloh told us that he has 90 minutes for the show.
Yep.
So maybe we
quick question.
can.
One quick question, and start beating the chat for winning the prize. But Cheryl, people are asking on the Golden Tee. They're asking resolution. What's the resolution of the screen? If you can even have the answer for that.
Geez, I don't know.
There we
the
go.
resolution. I don't know. I'll have to check. I know we're running at 60 frames per second on every game.
Oh, nice.
It looks great on HDMI.
Cool. There goes the chat there, all crazy and
Yep,
stuff.
we're going to give it to 9:29. So about a minute. We have 197 eligible people for the Berserk and the Last Frenzy twin pack. So
I want
get
to
in the
say
chat.
something. We had
Yes, go ahead.
We had 300 people here, and then now the grand prize is here, and they're all left. Not all, but like I'd
Hey,
say 30 of
The
them left.
people who are still
It's like,
here are quite happy they're
yeah,
here.
yeah. Like, why? Why? I don't understand it.
Okay, you have about 30 seconds. We have 201 eligible people. I'll pull it up over here. This is once again, thanks to the generosity of Shiloh and New Wave Toys, who's always given back. Actually, he's
say
given
thank
back
you in
a
the
ton
chat
to the
too there,
community.
by the way. Give him a
Cool.
warm thanks there.
Absolutely.
We'll call it. We'll
It's
give
our
him
pleasure.
A Glenn's Retro Show welcome or thank you in the chat.
Yep.
There you go.
All right, we are at 9:29. That means we are going to pick a winner
The grand prize.
of the very last around twin pack, Berserk and Frenzy from New Wave Toys. A gift from Shiloh to you in the community. Shiloh, you tell me when to hit that button. I'm going to press it. You say go, or no, you know what you say? Coin detected in pocket, or something along those lines, and I'll do it.
Okay. Coin detected in pocket.
Boom. David Denelson, you, sir, just won the grand prize at New Wave Toys, Berserk and Frenzy. You won here tonight. Make sure
You
you
gotta
send
get the
it.
little crowd sound or something.
Oh, you know what? You know what? I totally did, and I should have been doing the music. And this, I should have been doing that.
There you go.
But again, do I have the crowd? I thought I had a crowd here somewhere. I'll do this. I didn't do it.
Oh, that's
at
like
all.
a bad joke or
Listen,
something.
I'll do my best in television sports crowd noise.
Do it.
There you got it.
It was this whistle. I remember from baseball.
Yeah, all that in television. So
that's
David,
awesome.
Congratulations. You won the grand prize. And you know what? A big
Congrats.
thank you to everyone. We had so many people in the chat today. I apologize. We couldn't give you the same attention level we try to give everyone. But we actually had about 10 times more of the people in our live stream, thanks to New Wave Toys here tonight. But Shiloh,
Yippers.
and we're going to be ending the stream soon. Anything you want to tell the community, anything you want to say at all, please feel free.
I'm just going to default to thanking everybody because, I can't thank everybody enough. So, we really appreciate everybody, and we're not just saying that. We really, really do. And what we're doing, we're trying to do stuff for you guys. And we know we can't make everybody happy all the time, but, try to keep an open mind. Maybe you might like it, Golden Tea's pretty fun. So, again, we're going to keep on keeping on, and we're going to try to hit every era. And, of course, we're going to stay true to the 80s stuff, too, because there's still so much we need to do. There's so many great games and cabs that haven't had a proper homage. And there's even things like, we haven't even done Pac-Man yet. Right? So, there's some
You
stuff.
gotta
There's
get that
stuff like
quality
that.
there.
Was that a hint?
I don't know.
It's got to be both. Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man. It's got to be both.
Well, that
Ladybug.
we're kind of generous like that too, where Berserk and Frenzy has both games, so we're not trying to just make you buy both cabs, right, or something like that. So you never know. If we do Pac-Man, maybe we'll have Pac and Miss Pac on the same.
Yeah, I don't know these companies that put like Pac-Man Plus and all the other Pac-Mans that nobody gave a crap about. So if you put Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man, you'll be fine. The other ones, I don't know. They throw in like 3D Pac-Man and Pac-Land and a bunch of Pac-Mans that nobody gave a crap about. You know what I mean?
I always find it so fascinating that GCC made Miss Pac-Man. It wasn't Namco.
Right. Correct.
That's right.
They absolutely killed Pac-Man, in my opinion. I love Miss Pac-Man a lot more than Pac-Man. that's really cool, and that was fun doing a food fight with Jonathan and hearing all those stories and stuff. So yeah, we're actually trying to get some of the original programmers and creators of Golden Tee. We might do our own little live thing on Facebook or YouTube one of these days. We wouldn't mind doing that. We wouldn't mind doing these more often than we do. I think it's a really great time for people to ask questions. I know we missed a lot of super chats this time
Yeah.
around,
Apologies
but
to that.
yeah, sorry about that. And you know, maybe just to be fair, we should do this more often, Glenn. And it's always fun coming on the show here with you guys and seeing you guys again and stuff. And
Love
You
having
have
you
an
on.
open door. You have an open door, Shiloh.
and Glenn, it's been real fun and experience working on this real arcade stick with you, and couldn't ask for a better partner. And
I was going to say the same thing. I guess I can't now, huh? You already said it.
well, I mean, you just agree with me, and we're good.
I absolutely
you know?
do, and I tell people all the time. My whole point of doing what I do is because I enjoy the games, right? And I want to have a good experience with it. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. And Shiloh is the same exact way, which is why we work so well together. We both have the same vision, which is making sure you guys get your money's worth. You guys have fun with it, and bring it back to memories. And Shiloh and his team, it's not just Shiloh, his team are very much into making sure you guys, when you buy these things, have a fantastic time with it. And that's why Shiloh is probably one of the best people I work with. He's a CEO of a company. He's got to put food on his table. He's got to feed. He's got a dog too. He's got to feed Frenzy, right? Got to do those things. Yeah. But he will do what he has to do to make sure you guys get the best quality. And that's why I'm so happy to be working with Shiloh on this project. And it's just one among many. Let me tell you guys, this thing's, Shiloh, people will tell you, they tried to get out of me. I told them nothing, because when people tell me stuff, that's how it is. But I can say that Shiloh and I have been talking about lots of projects over the years. So this is just one, and it's good if it does well, which it looks like it will. We'll be able to continue and branch out more. So if you guys purchase these things, it's going to make better things for you guys out there.
Yeah, cool. And I think people are going to be really happy with this Golden Tee experience. Another thing, just real quick, is just if you look at the price of Golden Tee products, I mean, of course, the newer things are very expensive. With the real control, we're still, $100 cheaper than our arcade one-up. And we think we actually give a better experience with the game. So this is a good stepping stone. If you get into Golden Tee, this is a good way to get into it and slowly advance to the newer games, where that's a big community. It's a really big community of people who love playing Golden Tee, and they have all their shots down packed, and like I mentioned, the tournaments and everything else. So yeah, this is new, and it might be a little bit of a surprise and this and that, but we're really, really, really happy about it, and we're glad we actually got to fruition with our project, Glenn. So thanks, everybody. Really mean
Steven,
that.
anything you want to say before we end the show?
Well, you were mentioning, Shiloh, before the show that this was the OG esports was Golden Tee.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people in the chat knew that, but I didn't know before the show. I was like, oh, wow, this is pretty good. So other than that, I have nothing more to say. Have a good evening, and congratulations to all our 5 winners. And thanks for coming out for sure.
I just want to thank, this is the first show we had moderators. We actually had 4 people moderating the chat. So I want
and
to
even a bot that almost kicked me out.
I did. I want to thank all you guys for doing the moderating. Of course, Charlotte, it's always a pleasure. You always just let me know you're on anytime. But the big thanks goes to all of you guys out there in the community. You guys what make this show great, and what buying the product from Shiloh helps more products coming out. So we really want to thank you guys. Have a great weekend. And most importantly, as fun as this stuff is, as much as Shiloh and me have worked hard to bring this stuff to you, it's fun. Just remember to tell a family, friend, or your pet, let them know you love them. Tomorrow is never promised, and don't have regrets in life. Tell them you love them, tell them you respect them, and game on. Good night, everyone.
And be kind.
Hey,
Thanks,
rewind.
everybody.
Be kind and rewind. Right?
Yeah, be kind and rewind. There you go. Perfect. Good night, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Game on.
Sit, Blue, sit. Good dog.